The Los Angeles Lakers are experiencing something that hasn't happened in over 2 decades, and the implications of this shift are about to reshape everything we thought we knew about this franchise's immediate future. Welcome to Lakers News Fan Report, your home for the latest breaking news, exclusive insider analysis, and all the updates you need about our beloved Los Angeles Lakers. I've got something today that's going to spark massive conversation among Lakers Nation, and I need you to stay with me through every detail because what I'm about to reveal represents a seismic shift in the power dynamics of our organization. A transformation that's been building quietly beneath the surface but is now impossible to ignore. Let me start by painting a picture of where we are right now as a franchise. The Lakers are 15-4, sitting near the top of the Western Conference standings, playing some of the most exciting basketball we've seen in years. The energy at Crypto Arena is electric, the chemistry on the court is palpable, and there's a genuine belief within this organization that we're building something special, something that can compete for championships, not just this year, but for years to come. That kind of sustained success, that kind of long-term optimism, it's something we haven't been able to say with confidence in quite some time. When you look at our recent performances, when you watch how we're dismantling opponents, when you see the way this team is executing on both ends of the floor, it's clear that something fundamental has changed about the Lakers' identity. We're not relying on individual heroics to win games anymore. We're not living and dying by one player's performance. Instead, we're seeing a balanced attack, multiple scoring threats, defensive intensity that lasts all 48 minutes, and a depth of talent that allows us to weather injuries and rest days without falling apart. That's the mark of a truly elite organization, and it's exactly where the Lakers need to be if we're going to reclaim our position at the pinnacle of the NBA. The Western Conference is absolutely loaded with talent right now. You've got the defending champions still hungry for more. You've got young ascending teams that are building dynasties. You've got veteran-led squads that are in their championship windows and going all in. The competition is fierce, and there's no room for complacency or sentimentality when you're trying to navigate this landscape. Every decision has to be made with cold, calculated precision, weighing present performance against future potential, balancing respect for past contributions with the harsh realities of where players are in their careers. One of the most fascinating developments of this season has been watching how our roster has evolved, how different players have stepped into expanded roles, how the hierarchy within the team has naturally reorganized itself based on performance and production, rather than reputation or legacy. Basketball is the ultimate meritocracy at the end of the day. The players who produce, who deliver in crucial moments, who make their teammates better, those are the players who earn the most responsibility and the most recognition. And this season, we've seen some players rise to occasions that perhaps we didn't fully anticipate when the season began. Austin Reaves has been an absolute revelation this year. I'm talking about a legitimate breakout season that has elevated him from a solid role player into a genuine star-level performer. Reaves is averaging career highs across the board. His efficiency has skyrocketed. His decision-making has matured exponentially, and he's become one of the most clutch players in the entire league. When games are on the line, when we need someone to make a play, Reaves has consistently delivered time and time again. That kind of reliability, that kind of growth, it's exactly what championship teams are built on. The emergence of Reaves as a legitimate number 2 or even number 1 option on offense has been one of the most surprising and exciting storylines of the 2025-26 NBA season. Nobody predicted he would take this kind of leap. Sure, we knew he was talented, we knew he was smart, we knew he had that intangible quality that winning players possess. But to see him transform into an all-star caliber performer, to watch him go toe-to-toe with the best players in the league and more than hold his own, that's been truly special to witness as Lakers fans. But Reaves' breakout isn't even the biggest story surrounding the Lakers right now. In February of this year, The Lakers made a trade that absolutely shocked the basketball world, a move that nobody saw coming, a transaction that immediately polarized opinion across the entire NBA landscape. The Lakers traded Anthony Davis, one of the most dominant two-way players in the league, a generational talent who had been instrumental in delivering championship number 17 to Los Angeles. Trading AD was unthinkable to many fans, a move that seemed to contradict everything we understood about building championship rosters. But in exchange for Davis, the Lakers acquired Luka Doncic. Let that sink in for a moment. Luka Doncic, the 26-year-old Slovenian superstar who is widely considered one of the 5 best players in the world, who is a perennial MVP candidate, who has been carrying franchises on his back since he was 19 years old. The Lakers pulled off a trade that brought Luka Doncic to Los Angeles, pairing him with a breakout Austin Reaves and creating a dynamic duo that has the potential to dominate the league for the next decade. The impact of Doncic's arrival in Los Angeles cannot be overstated. From the moment he put on the purple and gold, from his very first game at Crypto. Come arena, it was clear that we were witnessing something special. Doncic brings an offensive versatility that is almost impossible to defend. He can score from anywhere on the court. He's one of the best passers in NBA history. He has the size to post up smaller defenders. He has the handles to break down anybody one-on-one, and he has the basketball IQ to exploit any defensive scheme thrown at him. Watching Doncic operate in the Lakers system has been absolutely mesmerizing. The chemistry between Doncic and Reaves has developed faster than anyone could have predicted. They complement each other perfectly, with Doncic's ability to create for others, opening up endless opportunities for Reaves to attack closeouts and make plays, while Reaves's off-ball movement and shooting ability gives Doncic the spacing he needs to operate. Together, they form one of the most lethal backcourt combinations in the entire NBA, and they're both still young enough that this partnership could define Lakers basketball for the next 8 to 10 years. Early in the season, there was a stretch where one of our veteran players missed several games, and during that absence, something remarkable happened. The Lakers didn't just survive without this player, they thrived. The team went on a winning streak, the offense looked more fluid, the ball movement was crisp, younger players got opportunities to shine, and there was a noticeable energy shift that had people around the league taking notice. It raised an uncomfortable question that nobody really wanted to address directly, but that was impossible to ignore. Does this team actually play better without this particular veteran in the lineup? That veteran player, the one whose absence seemed to unlock something special in the Lakers' performance, is someone whose name is synonymous with excellence, whose resume includes multiple championships, whose impact on basketball extends far beyond just statistics and wins. We're talking about someone who has been the face of franchises for 2 decades, who has carried teams to the promised land multiple times, who is considered one of the greatest players in the history of the sport. But we're also talking about someone who is 41 years old and dealing with the inevitable physical decline that comes with age. LeBron James is no longer the main man of the Los Angeles Lakers. For the first time in his 20-plus-year career, LeBron is not the undisputed alpha, not the player that everything runs through, not the guy who has the final say on every possession. That's not a criticism of LeBron, it's simply an acknowledgement of reality. At 41 years old, even with all his incredible longevity and his ability to defy Father Time, longer than perhaps any player in NBA history, LeBron cannot be the same player he was 5 years ago, let alone 10 or 15 years ago. The Lakers now have Luka Doncic, a 26-year-old superstar who is in his absolute prime, who is an MVP candidate every single season, who has the talent and the drive to lead this franchise to multiple championships. Doncic is the present and the future of the Lakers. That's not speculation. That's not opinion. That's just the factual reality of where this organization is right now. When you have a player like Doncic, a generational talent who is 15 years younger than LeBron, the entire calculus of your roster construction changes. LeBron has dealt with sciatica issues this season, pain in his left leg that has forced him to sit out multiple games for load management. Against the New Orleans Pelicans this past Sunday, LeBron was held out to rest, and the Lakers won convincingly without him. Throughout the 2025-26 season, LeBron is expected to sit out many more games as the organization manages his minutes and tries to keep him fresh for a potential playoff run. That's the reality of having a 41-year-old player on your roster, no matter how great that player has been throughout his career. Stephen A. Smith, one of the most prominent voices in sports media, recently addressed LeBron's situation on the Joe and Jada podcast. Smith has had his disagreements with LeBron over the years. Their relationship has been complicated and, at times, contentious, but on this particular topic, Smith offered an analysis that was both respectful of LeBron's abilities and realistic about his future with the Lakers. According to Smith, LeBron can still play at a high level even at 41, even with the sciatica issues. Smith believes LeBron can come back and average over 20 points per game, that he still has the skill and the basketball IQ to contribute meaningfully to a championship contender. However, and this is the critical part that Lakers fans need to understand, Smith also stated that if the Lakers had a choice, they would trade LeBron. Not because his game has fallen off a cliff, not because he can't contribute anymore, but simply because of his age and because the franchise now has Luka Doncic as their future. Smith was very clear about this distinction. The potential trade consideration isn't about LeBron's current performance. It's about the reality that he's 41 years old and the Lakers want to build around younger players who can sustain excellence for the next decade. Smith's exact words were revealing. He said the Lakers would consider trading LeBron because of his age and the fact that they have Luka as the future. He pointed out that Luka is 26, and the Lakers want young players to develop and take on larger roles, not someone who is 41 and likely retiring within the next year or two. Smith emphasized that this isn't about LeBron's game, it's about his age. That's a crucial distinction that we need to understand as we process this information. The basketball side of LeBron's game is still impressive for a player his age. He can still score efficiently, he can still facilitate and create for others, he can still impact winning when he's on the court. But the organizational calculus extends beyond just what happens during the 48 minutes of game time. The Lakers have to think about roster construction, salary cap implications, the development of younger players, and the long-term trajectory of the franchise. When you have Luka Doncic, when you have Austin Reaves breaking out into stardom, when you have other young pieces that need minutes and opportunities to grow, keeping a 41-year-old LeBron James on the roster becomes a more complicated decision than it might appear on the surface. There's also the question of what LeBron wants at this stage of his career. Does he want to be the third or fourth option on a team coming off the bench or playing reduced minutes? Does he want to be in a situation where the offense doesn't run through him, where he's not the primary decision maker on every possession? LeBron has been the alpha for his entire career, and adjusting to a diminished role, even on a winning team, might not be something he's interested in pursuing. If that's the case, if LeBron wants to go somewhere where he can still be the main guy or at least have a more prominent role, then a trade or a buyout situation that allows him to sign elsewhere might actually be the best outcome for everyone involved. The Lakers are 15-4 right now, playing their best basketball in years, and they're doing it with Luka Doncic as the face of the franchise. Whether LeBron stays and finishes his career in Los Angeles, whether he gets traded to a contender that needs veteran leadership, or whether he decides to retire, none of those scenarios change the fundamental reality that Doncic is now the Lakers' franchise player. This is Luka's team now, and everything moving forward will be built around maximizing his prime years and surrounding him with the pieces necessary to win multiple championships. For Lakers fans, this transition might feel bittersweet. LeBron brought us championship number 17. He delivered on his promise when he came to Los Angeles, and he's been nothing but professional throughout his time in purple and gold. But championship organizations have to make difficult decisions based on where players are in their careers rather than what they've accomplished in the past. The Lakers are positioned beautifully for sustained success with Doncic and Reaves as the foundation, and whatever decisions get made regarding LeBron's future will be made with that long-term vision in mind. So, here's what I want to know from all of you watching right now. How do you feel about the possibility of LeBron leaving the Lakers, either through trade or retirement? Do you think the Lakers should keep him for the rest of this season and let him retire as a Laker? Or would you support a trade if it brought back assets that could help us win more championships with Luka? How do you evaluate LeBron's fit on this current roster with Doncic as the primary star? I want to hear your honest thoughts in the comments below because this is one of the most significant transitions in Lakers history. And your perspective as passionate fans matters. If you want to stay updated on every development regarding LeBron's future, Luka's continued dominance, and all the moves the Lakers make as we push toward the playoffs and beyond, make sure you subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report and hit that notification bell. We're here every single day bringing you the content, analysis, and insider information you need to stay connected to your Los Angeles Lakers. Drop a like on this video if you found this analysis valuable. Share it with other Lakers fans who need to understand what's happening with this franchise, and let's keep this conversation going in the comments. The next few months could define the Lakers for the next decade, and I'll be here covering every single moment. Until next time, let's go. Lakers!